Hello everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear. I've had a couple of people ask me what goes in my day pack, so figured I'd do a quick video explaining kind of a breakdown of what I keep in my day pack for each hike that I go on. This is a North Face pack. Apparently it is called the Hot Shot, according to what it says there. I've had this pack since probably 2010 or 2011, and I've used it a ton since. So I don't believe it's fully waterproof, although you can see this material is at least water resistant, and it's done great for me. Rain or shine, I've carried this pack a ton in all kinds of elements. It's done absolutely great for me. On this side of the pack, you'll see I have a couple of things strapped in. You'll also notice that part of why I love this pack is because it does have a chest strap, which is great. Plus I got my whistle in case I get into trouble, and it's the kind of trouble that a whistle can get me out of. Next, it also has a hip strap, which is great, especially when I'm climbing down some kind of risky terrain and stuff like that. On here, you've probably seen in some of my other videos, I have my BGM pike, which I have lashed on with some paracord. I'm starting to think I'm just going to leave it on that way. I've had a few clip options come in that I could try to clip this onto the pack with, but on my last few hikes, this has just been doing fantastic for me. So that's probably going to stay right there just like that, and I'll use those clips for another project. On this side, I've got an Olight. This is the M1T Raider. This is a CR123A powered battery, or battery powered, I should say. Just takes one of them, and I run these Energizer ones in it. I got them on Amazon for a good deal. It runs great. I keep a couple spares in the backpack, as you'll see, but this is my dedicated strap light, because on here, when it's on my shoulder, if I'm hiking at night, I can flip it on from right there, and it points straight to where I want to see on the trail, which is awesome. Or I can always pull it off real quick and use it in hand. I do usually keep another light in my backpack if I'm going to be on a night hike specifically, but unless I'm planning to hike at night, this is the only light that I keep on here. If I'm going to be going on a night hike, I do carry an additional Olight. I have the Olight, I want to say it's the M2R Warrior. I'll do a video on that light soon. I've actually got two of them, one that's dedicated, mounted on my rifle, and one that I keep as a pack light. But yeah, so that's what goes on the straps of this pack. And then for the rest of everything I show you, I'm probably going to pull the backpack out of frame. That way you can see each thing as I lay it out. All right, so I'm going to go through the small pouch first. The first thing is I keep a couple of these mats in the bag. These are great while I'm out, so I have a place to set things down, especially when I'm bringing gear out with me and I've got nice knives. If I'm sitting in a sketchy spot and I don't want to be fiddling with what's in my pockets, I can set one of these down. I can set multiple objects on it, and it kind of gives it a little bit of traction and also protects it from the rocks and all kinds of stuff if I'm dealing with something made of nice materials. Plus they're just great to have. These come in handy if I need to grab something hot. I can use these. These are literally extra. They're from a sample kit from, I believe, the Lexus RCF. Back when it came out, I was selling Lexus, and I snagged one of the sample kits because we had a bunch of extras, and there were like 20 of these in different colors and different leather grains and all that kind of stuff. So I've got a bunch of these laying around, and I just keep a couple in my pack. Next, let's see. Here's a good one. Always keep a couple of tissues in my pack, as well as some toilet paper. These are super valuable in today's world. Now that we're dealing with the coronavirus, this is like gold. I also have an emergency blanket because it weighs nothing. There's a lot of things I can do with this from a bushcrafting standpoint if I was in a pinch, besides the obvious of just using it as an emergency blanket. Let's see, next. I have got, find one battery. There should be two, so there's probably one somewhere else in here. We'll see if we can find that, but that's a replacement for my pack light. This is really great stuff. This is called Blister Blocker by Soulmates, And I use this not super frequently, but if I am on longer hikes, I start to feel a blister forming. I'll go ahead and roll down my sock, put some of this on, and it actually does help a ton, believe it or not. Sometimes I'll even put it on preemptively if I'm going to be on a hike that I know is going to be long and has a lot of climbing and a lot of descending. I'll put it in kind of those trouble spots. Next, I have some Vaseline. If you hike a lot, you know exactly why. Chafing is my worst enemy out on the trail, at least it can be. So this is great to just have in the pack in case you need it. Let's see what we've got next. I just found, randomly, a Drummer Boy quarter. Didn't know that was in there, but that's in my hiking pack. Let's see, next. I like to keep a set of just kind of beater gloves. These are actually, I think, knockoff mechanics wear. I don't know if that's taboo to say, but I got these super cheap, so cheap that they're probably not real. But yeah, these are just some beater gloves that I used as work gloves for a little while. And there's times when I get to an unexpected climb, like a few months ago, I was climbing a section where there was a face that had just an old rusted cable as the only handholds. And so I like to have these in case there's something like that, or even just if I'm climbing on stuff and my hands are starting to get beat up, then these are great to have. So yeah, a pair of gloves, I should say. Oh, there's the other battery. I keep a significant amount of paracord in the bag. If you're into bushcrafting at all, you'll know that paracord is like the #1 tool besides a knife for bushcrafting. So yeah, this paracord is super essential. Whether I'm using this pack or going on a bigger hike, I have a bunch of paracord around. I always make sure I have a lot of paracord. Let's see if there's anything else in this. Oh, I do keep 1 or 2 granola bars just about at all times. And then let's see, in the small pouch, we've also got a couple of methods of fire starting. So I've got a Bic lighter. This one's just a light gray, whatever lighter from 7-Eleven or something. Great couple of dollar option. I've got some waterproof matches here as well with the striker on there. I actually haven't used any of these. I just keep them in case. They weigh nothing, so it makes sense to me to have them in there. And then I also have my fire steel, which you can see I've used quite a bit. I think I got this one on Amazon. This one just says Überleben. I don't know what that means. It's got a cap lifter there. This is the most efficient way to strike the fire steel, is just with this guy built in right there. I have also used several of my bushcrafting knives. This fire steel works great. But yeah, it's connected with that paracord there, and I've used this a decent bit. I really like that fire steel. I think that may be it for the small pouch. I do often throw additional things if I'm carrying stuff to shoot, then this will be the part of the pack where I put kind of my extra knives and stuff like that in. Let's see, in the bottom of my main pouch, all I have is this old beat up sweater that kind of lives in the pack, just in case it gets a little cold. That's easy. Depending on the season, I might have a waterproof layer in there. Yeah, that's usually kind of what I keep in there, unless I've got like a lunch that I'm packing. Sometimes if I've got a larger water bottle, like my Hydro Flask, I'll put that in there. I like to hike sometimes if I know that I'm going to be by a water source with just my Grail bottle, which is a filtration bottle. That works great as well. But the last thing that I virtually always have with me on a hike is my yerba mate. I just did a video review on these the other day. I drink one every day. If it's not from a can, I brew it at home. And today I had 2 because it's that kind of day. But yeah, so those are the contents of my pack. You can see I've got not too much. It's not a crazy amount. This is just a day pack. This isn't like a 72-hour kit or anything like that. This is just what lives in my pack all the time, that I've always got with me just in case. And these are things that either weigh next to nothing and could come in handy, or are something that I use actively and always come in handy. So there you have it. That's the anatomy of my hiking pack.